مساء الخير، أنا غيدا مجذوب، واليوم أنا سعيدة إنه رح أنتقل من مونريال كندا إلى سيدني بأستراليا لحتى أحكي مع رجل أعمال ناجح جدا، رجل أعمال اشتغل على صعيد كتير مهم واللي هو صعيد الكونتنت كرييشن، وأيضا هو امباسادور لسكسس ريسورسز واللي هو أحمد إمام. أحمد مساء الخير.
Hello, how are you?
Good day, mate.
You said that perfectly. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
اليوم أنا سعيدة. أول شيء رح أحكي مع أحمد باللغة العربية، وأحمد مصري الأصل بس انتقلوا من مصر إلى سيدني أستراليا بعمر ال4 سنين وقت اللي كان هو كتير صغير، ورح يخبرنا هلأ عن مشواره. فححاول أكلم أحمد باللهجة المصرية علشان أكون عم بقدر أتواصل أنا وأحمد ونفسر شوي ونخبر الناس عن أحمد إمام، كيف بلش المشوار في سيدني من وقت اللي جيت مع أهلك من القاهرة من مصر.
Okay. Yeah, look, I arrived in Australia. We immigrated from Egypt to Australia when I was 4 years old. And all of our family is still in Egypt. So our aunties, uncles, cousins, everybody is there. But my father brought us here because he was working here prior to having us. And he knew that it'll be a good opportunity for myself and my daughter and our futures in terms of our education and things like that. So we came here at a very, very young age. When I came to Australia, I couldn't speak any English. I could only speak Arabic. And I started school and I was put into school not knowing a word of English. And then over time, I picked up the English as I do. And you lose a bit of the Arabic, unfortunately, when you don't practice it. So my parents still speak to me in Arabic, in Egyptian dialect, and I respond to them in English.
وهذا الشيء هون that's why أنا اليوم قلت رح نعمل المقابلة. أنا من جهتي حخليها باللهجة المصرية أو اللغة العربية، ورح خليك أنت تحكي بالإنجليزي لحتى نكون، لأنه نحن بنعرف إنه كل الأجيال القديمة اللي تركت من زمان من هي وصغيرة بعضها يعني أو معظمها ما بقى يحكي اللغة العربية، لأنه مثل ما قلت اللغة العربية صعبة، وإذا واحد ما عمل لها practice you lose the practice تبعها، you lose the content، ما بقى عندك خلص طريقة الاستعمال تبعيتها. So ما في مشكل. أنا حتى مش رح أعمل كتير ترجمة، يعني أقول إنه أنت وقت اللي نقلتك ما كنت تعرف تحكي كتير إنجليزي وقت كنت صغير، وبعدين بطلت تعرف تحكي هلأ عربي. بس أنا بدي كفي على المشوار اللي قدر يخلي أحمد هالشاب الانتروفيرت اللي مسكر على حاله، اللي يستحي ما يحط عينه بعين حدا، لحتى يكون شخص هالقد سيلف كونفيدنت وهالقد واثق من نفسه ويوصل اللي بده إياه لكل العالم.
Okay, so I understood introvert, but if you can use Egyptian dialect, it'll be much easier for me.
أنا عايزة أوصل للناس وأقول لهم إزاي أحمد قدر يتحول من الشخص اللي هو فعلا انتروفيرت ومسكر على نفسه ويقدر يفتح على كل العالم ويقدر يكون مرتاح ويقدر يقف قدامهم في مسرح ويقدم أي حاجة عايز يقولها من دون ما يخاف من أي حد.
Yeah. Look, for me, it was a process. So, I mean, because I was very different in school, I couldn't speak English. I looked different. I had brown skin. I was just a very different person. I actually got bullied a lot in school. And I was bullied probably from age maybe 5 to age 15. And it really, really affected my confidence, my self-esteem, my own opinion of myself, my self-worth. And I actually got to the stage, Ghida, where by age maybe 16 or 17, I lacked so much confidence that I couldn't even look people in the eyes. And I felt like I couldn't take up the voice space because I didn't deserve to. And so for me, it was a bit of a struggle. It was very much a struggle. But I then started working at a pizza shop when I was about 18. And I was making pizzas and I was washing dishes. It was just a very, normal restaurant job. And my boss there was an entrepreneur who really believed in me. And he said he saw something in me that he didn't see, that I personally didn't see in myself. And when I was leaving that shop, he actually gave me a gift to give me a bit of a confidence boost. And he didn't have to do that. So I have so much respect for him for that. But he gave me this 24-disc CD set. And the CD set was by Tony Robbins. And for those of you who know Tony Robbins, he's all about self-improvement and confidence. And I had no idea who Tony Robbins was. I mean, at the time, I was just, like I said, I was 18, 19. And I went home and I put on that very first CD. And as soon as I heard that voice, Tony Robbins's voice, I knew there was something there that I was missing. And so that's what started my journey to build my confidence and my courage over the next, let's say, 15 years. And so the person that you see now, the confident person that you see now, is only because I've been practicing this for the last now 15 to 20 years. And when I say practice, I mean, now I've gotten myself into a state where every time I'm scared or fearful of something, I know that that's something that I should be doing so that I can grow through it. And so I used to be terrified of public speaking. I used to be very, very fearful of speaking publicly. Even doing something like this would absolutely scare me. And so what I would do is I would volunteer to put myself in those positions.
Hey.
So if a friend of mine was having a wedding, I would volunteer to MC at the wedding. I would volunteer to do sales presentations. Anything that scared me, that terrified me, I would volunteer to do. And when you do that for 15 plus years, you actually build real confidence. You know, they say fake it until you make it. Well, I actually believe you fake it until you do it. You know, you fake it until you become it. And that's what I became. I became a truly confident individual, and I've learned to be kind to myself as well.
طب أنا هون عايزة أقول حاجة، يعني في شخصين يعني لعبوا دور أساسي جدا في حياتك. الباص بتاعك في البيتزا بليس اللي كنت بتشتغل فيه، اللي ادالك هال 24 ديسك سيت لتوني روبنز، وتوني روبنز the motivational speaker اللي كل الناس بس بيسمعوا صوته بيعرفوا انه ده توني روبنز وممكن يغير لهم حياتهم. وانت اكبر مثال انه ممكن هيك اشخاص يقدروا يغيروا حياة شخص اخر، وانت هلا عم تلعب هيدا الدور، يعني عم بتحاول ايضا انت تكون سفير لهيك امور بلش فيها توني روبنز من قبل. قديش كمان هالمسيرة اللي عم تشتغلي عليها احمد قديش عم بتكون صعبة، وقديش عم تقدر تحس حالك انت سعيد ايضا انه انت عم بتوصل هالرسالة وتغير حياة ناس تانيين.
Yeah. So the amazing thing now is, and you mentioned before that I was the ambassador for Success Resources. So right now I work for a company called Success Resources, who is partnered with Tony Robbins. You know, so we partner with people like Richard Branson, Gary Vaynerchuk, Robert Kiyosaki, really influential people, and Tony Robbins. So for me to start my self-improvement journey with Tony Robbins and now be in a position where I am in a business that's partnered with Tony Robbins, and we're now helping other people build their confidence and break through their limiting beliefs and change their lives. It feels like it's meant to be. So I'm very blessed to be partnered with Success Resources, and to be partnered with Tony Robbins is incredible, considering the impact that he's had on me.
وهون يعني انت كمان هلا صرت انت عم تلعب الدور نفسه، يعني انت دلوقتي بقيت توني روبنز بتاع اشخاص كتير بيلحقوا وبيشوفوا احمد امام بيعمل ايه.
You're very kind.
لا فعلا هيدي حاجه حقيقيه. يعني هلا لما بنقول انه قدرت تبني اذا فينا نقول مملكه على لينكد ان اللي هي حوالي 350,000 شخص بيلحقوك على لينكد ان، هيدي فعلا واحد في يسميها مملكه. It's a kingdom.
Yeah. Look, I mean, it's a very, very strange feeling to have a large following, and for me, it hasn't really kicked in. You know, like for me, I treat it the same way as I did when I started. But certainly when I put out my content and my messages, there are a lot of people watching, a lot of people listening. And I'm just very, very grateful for everyone that follows me. But my approach to social media, to LinkedIn is just to speak my truth. You know, I approach it with a lot of humility, with a lot of kindness. And everything that I've personally learned, I like to pass on. And I'm very, very vulnerable and transparent in the way I do that. So I'll tell people that I used to have no confidence. I'll tell people that I used to be a shy, awkward kid. I'll tell people my journey so that they can hopefully learn from that. And a lot of people have appreciated my honesty and my transparency. So it's an incredible feeling.
وهلا كمان بالنسبه لهيدا يعني now it's a challenge لك، او هيدا صار مثل مسؤوليه. it's a responsibility انت حاملها لحتى تقدر to be able to achieve الشيء اللي انت اشتغلت عليه. يعني واحد لحتى يعمل 350,000 follower على لينكد ان this is something very very difficult. وواحد يقدر يحس حاله انه هو حامل هالثقل لحتى يقدر يكون هو عم بيوصل هالرساله لاشخاص اخرين. فعلا هيدا شيء منه سهل. انت كيف عم تشتغل عليه؟ كيف عم تشتغل بشكل دائم على هالمسيرة تبعيتك.
Sorry, what was the question?
انت كيف عم تشتغل عليها؟ How are you improving your work? What are the things, what are the tools that you are using so as to improve your work on a daily basis?
Yeah. And look, I like to think that confidence is actually a skill set. Okay, so confidence isn't something that you wake up with and all of a sudden you feel confident. And it's not the fact that some people are confident and some are not. Everyone has the ability to be confident because it's a skill set that you can build. And so for me, even today, I have to make sure I'm maintaining that confidence. There are some days that I wake up and I'm not confident, and there are other days that I wake up and I am confident. And I've realized that the reason that is not because it's some sort of random act. It's because I've put in some sort of activity or I've accomplished some goal that has allowed me to then feel confident. And when you're constantly and frequently accomplishing goals and earning that credibility with yourself, you build and maintain confidence. And so that's something that I try and constantly do. I try and constantly achieve goals, put myself in positions where I can learn, I can grow. I surround myself with a lot of very, very inspirational people. I truly believe that if you're the smartest person in the room, then you're in the wrong room. You know? And so I like to surround myself with people that I can learn something from, people of different cultures, of different backgrounds, of different races, of different industries. And so that's how I constantly keep myself learning. And it's also important to have a mindset that regardless of who you are, regardless of your age, regardless of your background, your experience, you should always be forever a student and always be in a position where you're willing to learn something from someone and ask questions. Because the day that we stop asking questions is the day that we stop learning. So for me, I'm constantly absorbing. It's podcasts, it's books, it's being around people. It's constantly absorbing different pieces of content, learning from other people, asking questions. And that for me never stops. So I feel I can constantly continue to grow and evolve.
هون أنا عايزة أسألك، أنا بحاول أسألك دايما باللغة العربية وباللهجة المصرية دلوقتي. أنا بالنسبة لأحمد اللي هو عايش هلأ في أستراليا اللي فيها مجتمعات عربية كتيرة يعني كمان أيضا، فقديش كمان وجودك ببلد فيها القد مجتمعات عربية، قديش بعده حاطك بتواصل مع المجتمع العربي نفسه، وقديش انت بعدك بتواصل مع مصر نفسها، يعني لانه مثل ما قلت عماتك وكل العائله تبعيتك بعدها موجوده بمصر.
Yeah. So all of my family, I should say my extended family, is in Egypt. My aunties, my uncles, my cousins, they're all in Egypt. So I've got my mother, my father, my sister here. My sister has her own family, and she has her daughters, and they're my beautiful nieces. But everybody else is in Egypt. And so sometimes you feel a little bit isolated, in a sense that, you know, a lot of people obviously can reach out to their own cousins and aunties and uncles, and that's part of their family. For me, it's a little bit distant. So we have built a lot of close family friends. And it means that when you have a friendship, you build a very, very close friendship, because that's almost the equivalent of family. Yeah. But I haven't been to Egypt for about maybe 8 years, and I'd love to go back, because especially in Egypt, everybody breeds very, very quickly. You know?
Exactly.
And so I think I've got maybe
كبرت اكيد، بس نزلت عائلتك، اخذت عائلتك هناك كمان على مصر.
I actually haven't. So my wife and kids haven't been to Egypt, because my little one is only 4 years old. I have a 17-year-old stepdaughter, and so they actually haven't been to Egypt yet. So I'm really looking forward to taking them, seeing my family again, and meeting maybe the 100 new family members that I haven't seen. So
اكيد هلا واحنا بنتكلم بيكونوا بيزيدوا هلا دلوقتي.
Yeah, I can guarantee.
بس مصر ام الدنيا، مصر جميله قوي، ومصر تنوعها كمان جميل، وحضارتها وثقافتها جميله قوي. وحتى يعني هلا انت زي ما بتقول لسه بيكلموك باللهجه المصريه، سو انت اكثر شيء بعده على الان في دماغك اللهجه المصريه من والدك ووالدتك.
Yeah.
اكثر من حيلا لهجه ثانيه.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, I can understand Egyptian perfectly, and to me, the way I hear it is no different to the way I hear English. But when I respond, it's very disconnected. So if I was to speak Arabic, it would sound like maybe a 5 or 6 year old speaking Arabic to you. So I'm more comfortable speaking English just so I can better articulate myself. But look, it is something that I certainly want to pick up, and I don't believe anybody is ever too late to pick up a language.
No.
And I know that I'll pick it up very, very quickly, obviously because of my background.
Exactly.
So it's something that I will be focusing on, just so I can pass it on to my children as well.
أحمد، أنا كنت عايزة أسألك هنا دلوقتي، أنت بتشتغل مع الراجل الحلم بتاعك، يعني توني روبنز مثل زي ما قلت هو من الراجل الحلم اللي أنت كنت دايما بتخيل إنه أنت عايز تكون زيه. زي أحمد، زي توني روبنز، وأيضا سير ريتشارد برانسون، وأيضا شخصيات كبيرة زي الأسامي دي. كونك بتشتغل معاهم، قديش كمان ده بيخليك تعمل يعني كمان في مسؤولية بعد كتير أكتر عليك، لأنك عم تشتغل مع الشخصيات دول.
Yeah, look, they say that if you want to expedite your journey, if you want to learn something very, very quickly, if you want to be great, you surround yourself with greatness, you know, and they call it proximity, learning by proximity. The closer you are to someone, the more you're going to absorb from them. And so I'm very blessed that I'm able to be around and observe and experience all these incredible speakers, because speaking is something that I'm very passionate about, and I'm not on their level, but I'm learning, you know, and it allows me to learn very, very quickly, because these are people that are the absolute best in the world at what they do. So it's incredible to be able to learn by proximity. And for me, I always, regardless of what I'm doing, if I'm trying to learn something in self-improvement, if I'm trying to learn something in whatever it is, in sales or marketing, you make sure that you have proximity with some of the best people, and they could be your mentors, they could be you listening to a podcast, but you have to have some sort of proximity there.
وهون كمان أنا عشان أختم معك أحمد، الحاجة الأساسية أيضا كونك بتشتغل مع الأشخاص دول، أيضا بتتعلم منهم. أنت دايما بتحاول تعمل شعارات مهمة جدا، يعني أكتر شعار أنت بتستعمله هو be kind to yourself. وهيدا شعار فعلا جميل جدا، إنه واحد فعلا يقدر نفسه ويحب نفسه قبل ما يحب أي حاجة تانية. بقى كمان هدول الشعارات أيضا اللي بتشتغل عليهم، كيف تقدر تشتغل حتى so as they can be daily rituals of your own, and you can spread them to other people as well.
Exactly right, and it's important to do that. Whatever is truly important to the individual, and every person, and especially the people that I mentioned, they focus on specific things that are important to them. And for me, what really resonates with me, especially considering the story that I had in terms of my childhood and things of that nature, kindness is very important to me. And I truly have a mission that I want to make this world a kinder place. And I like to say that I wouldn't be on that mission if you know, had I been treated kindly. You know, if I was treated kindly, I wouldn't see kindness being so important. And so one of the things that I love to spread is the message of kindness, telling people to be kind to themselves, because as you mentioned, if you want to be kind to other people, you have to first learn to be kind to yourself, to love yourself, to respect yourself. And that's very, very important. And the other thing that I am very passionate about is confidence. You know, again, for obvious reasons, because I used to be that shy, awkward person that lacked confidence. And I know now that when you truly do love yourself and are kind to yourself, and these two things are very connected, kindness and confidence, you can then learn to be confident and start practicing confidence by accomplishing certain goals. But I also know that when you're more confident, more opportunities will come your way. And so whenever I see someone that lacks confidence or is shy or is doubting themselves, I like to go out of my way to destroy that doubt and build the confidence and courage in them, just knowing the opportunities that they will have as a result of them truly having that real confidence. Exactly. So for me, kindness and confidence are two topics that I'm absolutely passionate about.
Exactly, and you're completely right. أنا النهاردة حاولت على قد ما أقدر أتكلم باللهجة المصرية، وعلى قد ما اقدر اسالك باللغه العربيه ايضا، عشان ما اعملش الانترفيو كلها باللغه الانجليزيه، عشان تكون متنوعه ومشان كل الاجيال يعني كمان هيك نجرب نوصل لها. فانا فعلا سعيده جدا دلوقتي اني تعرفت عليك احمد، واكيد ده مش هيكون اللقاء الاخير ما بيننا، هنكون دايما بتواصل. احنا بس بنحاول نظبط الساعات بين كندا وبين استراليا اللي فيها 15 ساعه فرق، بس اكيد التواصل بيوصل وين ما كنا، والمحبه بتوصل ايضا. انا بتشكرك كثير كثير احمد، وانا بدي اقول انه نحن كنا دائما بنقول براسنا باستراليا انه هاي مايت جود داي مايت من بعد بول هوجن بال86 وقت كروكودايل داندي. So as you we were saying before recording, he made a certain labeling of Australia that everybody speaks like this in Australia. And this is not the case.
No, it's not the case.
Which is not the case. So good day, mate. Again, I would tell you at the end, and I really would love to see you again very soon on my online platform. And definitely, I know people are following you around. 350,000 people following you on LinkedIn. This is something really not a tool that everybody deals with. So it's really something very worthwhile and something that you are really proud of, and we are really proud of you. So أنا شكرا كثير أحمد، شرفت بمعرفتك أنا النهاردة أو الليلة دي عنا في مونريال، وإلى لقاء قريب إن شاء الله.
Thank you, Ghida. Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure to meet you first of all, and also to be on this show. So I'd love to do this again. And it's fun doing it this way. It's fun having you speak in Arabic and me respond in English. I think it's a very interesting interview, right?
I will take it as a challenge to teach you some Arabic.
Okay, good. That sounds like a deal.
خلاص, that sounds like a deal. We will promise our viewers المرة الجاية هتشوفوا أحمد بيتكلم عربي أكتر بكتير من دلوقتي.
Okay.
مش كده يا أحمد؟
We'll do it bit by bit.
مش كده يا أحمد؟ سمعني حاجة دلوقتي بالمصري.
Okay. Yes. كده. أيوة.
أيوة, برافو. برافو. Good achievement. خلاص, you're an achiever. So as Ahmad says, be kind to yourselves, and I will tell you, be kind to yourselves. And thank you so much for being with us tonight. You're a great inspiration also to many generations now, Ahmad. And thank you. You showed that everybody can change and nothing is impossible. Thank you so much. Best regards. Have a good day in Sydney, in Australia. Hope to see you soon, face to face, not virtually. And to be able لتحضروا اللقاء مع أحمد إمام، سفير success resources، وأيضا الكونتنت كرييتور اللي موجود حاليا مثل ما قلت لكم بسيدني بأستراليا، هالشخص الموتيفيشنال سبيكر اللي جمع 350,000 شخص على لينكد إن. فيكم تعملوا سبسكرايب على اليوتيوب شانل لإلي غيدا مجذوب، وأنا بشوفكم بلقاء جديد.